Neat. All right. We are live. Hello, everybody. I want to apologize to everybody. It's been a little bit. I kind of had a busy, crazy weekend and that. Hang on a minute. All right, everybody. I apologize for that. But yeah, so let's do the normal. Got to get my normal subscribers to let them know that I am on. And then we'll go from there. All right. Like I said, it's been interesting and crazy week end. But first, I want to say happy Father's Day to every father that comes on here. You know that it's Father's Day, and you know it's a great, wonderful day to celebrate that with fathers. I was considering not streaming today because of Father's Day, but you know, I figured, you know, I didn't really do much Friday and Saturday. I didn't do nothing streaming wise. So I figured it'd be best to come on. But I want to first day, I appreciate all of you that do come on here. I appreciate all my subscribers and all that follow me. Please, when you come on here, give the thumbs up. Please share this channel, get it out there. Because things are starting to heat up, things are starting to come closer to more disclosure, so that means more that I can talk about easily without no issues or problems. I did apparently hit a nerve with one of my videos on here with the scientist and carbon dating, which is insane because it's been partially blocked for most countries and such. And regions and that. So I did strike a nerve apparently with that. But I kind of figured eventually I would hit something. Because I'm speaking a lot of truth in that and a lot of meaning. But yeah, so it's been a crazy time. And we're gonna get into about Knights Templars and have some more talks about disclosures that are going on. So we're definitely going to get into that, get on a roll here. And I know a lot about Knights Templars, not only because I'm a big history buff, but because the family that took me in are St. Clairs. And their history is back with the Knights Templars. Actual proof of that is through my uncles and that, and you know, rest of my family that's talked about it, because they're originally from Greece. So they, you know, were part of the Knights Templars, and that's not why. I mean, it's everywhere. Knights Templars were everywhere, from everywhere, but a good bit was from ancient Greece, and that as well. So we're gonna get into that information in a bit. I'm trying to wait a little bit before I start talking. Truthfully on that. So we might jump on the randoms that a lot of whistleblowers are coming out finally, which I truly believe you shouldn't really call them whistleblowers because, matter of fact, it's disclosed. You know what I mean? So you're not really whistleblowing on nothing that now they're coming out, unless you're talking more of what hasn't yet come out, which some of them are. A recent one includes on how many species of extraterrestrials there are. As of now, from what they are saying, up to 15, there's actually more. Uh, Honestly, we're talking closer to the hundreds of So it's insane. It's wild. There is many species, but I'm gonna let you know now that if you're spiritual, they are fallen angels. If you're not, they're ultra terrestrials. You know, they're beings that just happen. Now, a lot of you believe the stories of these craters that are on Earth are from asteroids. Yet, I'm going to provide a simple answer. Not a single asteroid or meteor piece has been found that they say that it's been vaporized or, destroyed, maybe possibly over time, or the story is that, it all just was, never there. That don't add up to me. That don't add up to me. It don't make sense. And I'm not reaching here because I know it's fact. Anything that creates a crater like that, there's pieces going to be all over the place. Especially if it's coming at a forceful entry into the earth, it's going to split up little pieces here and there and be scattered. And especially when it gets closer, it breaks up even more before it slams into earth. So therefore, there would be pieces. No pieces have been ever recovered from any of these craters, and there's over 200. There's 200 craters. Now, let me get into that 200, right? Well, it says that 200 fallen angels were thrown from the heavens. Well, that kind of adds up to the craters. Equal there. Now, something like them as powerful beings being thrown from heaven, they would hit the earth and make such a devastating crater, especially tall beings. They were very tall, 9, 10 foot tall, maybe even bigger, depending. Um, so something like that. Now, there was in Russia a statue of what they call a fallen angel, which is really weird that, especially in the state it was, and the condition perfection in that doesn't add up. They're still confused about it. And like I said, scientists aren't scientists. If you're confused about something and you can't prove by science, you're not really scientists. There's no such thing, honestly, in my perspective. Um, Let me say entertainment purposes just in case, because I know a lot of people or these people are going to be ticked off that I'm saying it, but it's the truth. Honestly, I'm going to keep it real. I don't sugarcoat things and I don't make it blah. I'm going to keep it real. It's factual. As for this statue, uh, it is very old. And to my point, the way that it looks like cement or something was thrown on him. Um, Whether it was a sacrifice to let people know, humanity know, or maybe something else, like he was a rebellion, maybe changed his mind, and therefore that happened. Who knows? But here's the thing. They had technology just like these extraterrestrials that could turn people to stone. Now, in Russia, there was an incident and it happened. There was a few soldiers that were turned to stone. Entertainment purposes. We'll just say that. But yes, factual. It is documented. If you want to, you could look into Russian documents that are being released. Therefore, you will find it in Russian documents. It's a little bit difficult to get those documents, but I get my information from a man that is definitely truth worthy in that he has his own YouTube. I've told CM Drunk about it, and a few others probably got it. The Y files. A lot of his information is 100% from documents, from actual sources that are finally coming out, whistleblowing, even before the disclosure happened. Apparently, there was also some miners I picked up from him, and I had to really look into it. And that one is yet to be released, but there is a little bit of information about miners that were digging and all of a sudden hit a hollow entrance and went in and found a sarcophagus that was clear topping and had a woman inside this in a bluish pinkish solution, and unbelievably, like, her body was so well preserved that it looked like she was just sleeping. Like, there was no decaying, no nothing. It looked like me just laying in bed sleeping. She was removed, and for some reason, some of these miners happened to disappear. Um, except for three that I'm guessing were willing to sign, basically like we do NDA. Go figure. So that's my point. There are so many things out there that we don't know about that aren't being told to us and probably will still be kept a secret. I mean, something like that is just unbelievable. Now, I'm seeing a lot of stuff also as well about Gilgamesh, which they found a ring or it was on him. I don't know. I don't really follow too much of stuff being uncovered like that on social medias and uh, other. Now that I seen on social media, and I haven't really heard too much about that. I wasn't involved in that. Uh, Unfortunately, I wish I would have, but I'm pretty sure I could reach out and get some sources that will probably be willing to talk now about said thing. Uh, but what I'm seeing is that it was factual about this giant ring, probably silver, and it was huge. It looked like something that was 20 foot or bigger would wear. I mean, giant finger, of course, for a ring to be that size. If you do want to, you could check it out. It's on there. Pretty sure you could just look up Gilgamesh's ring. Pretty sure they probably have it on YouTube as well. So I'm still kind of waiting on some of the subscribers to jump in. I know it's Father's Day, so I'm not going to wait too long because I understand that families are out doing stuff with their, husbands celebrating Father's Day and that, or even family. But yes, um, definitely going to check here to see what we might got. That is odd. Okay, maybe not there. Hang on. If not, I know my subscribers will jump on and watch this video then when they got a chance. Oh. All right. But yeah, so I guess we'll get into the groove of things because I know, like I said, it's Father's Day, so I might be busy with people doing the thing and that. But for those of you that do pop in, I appreciate you taking the time. Like I said, smash that thumbs up, share, and definitely subscribe because I'm telling you, I got tons of information and I get tons of information every time. Every time. So let's get into the Knights Templar. So the Knights Templar was basically created for the purposes of that they believed in God and Jesus, which is factual. The Knights Templars were basically created because there was just a secret society that was put together for real purposes of the Catholic Church. Uh, even before even the Catholic Church. Sorry, but they went to the Catholic Church and they gave an oath to protect the church and to protect the people, and that now there was a lot of wars and a lot of the Knights Templars went to collect artifacts, probably mainly because of the church wanted that, and they thought they were benefiting to get their sacred items to the church that would be kept safe and possibly not destroyed, um, or even back then used as for sale and stuff like that, and lost in history. But the whole thing is the Catholic Church was doing things overboard, out of power control. That is the truth. Um, these are the stories that I've been told. Is that that is why they left the church, because they found out the real reasons of the sacred items and what they were doing. They were hiding it from the people when really it was supposed to be for the people, and the Catholic Church was supposed to protect it and let people see it and know about it. In reality, they weren't doing it. Second of all, that the Knights Templars also realized, in truth, that the Catholic Church was after control, and they were going around conquering people that weren't causing a problem. So they got tired of the lies from the church and that, and decided, okay, we're going to take the sacred items then, because it's not being used for the purposes that it was told to us, and therefore we're tired of it. So they took those items and left, and then that's when the Catholic Church claims that they betrayed and treasoned and all that from the church, which isn't true. It was really the church and that, but everybody was believing the Catholics and that because they thought they were for them and all that stuff, and it's like, it's a shame. It is a shame. So so they left, went and hid the sacred items and that, and then also a lot of them, unfortunately, were caught up with, and yeah, we already know the rest of what happens when you're caught. Unfortunately, they were not given a ability to speak, to reach out and say, "Hey, this is why," before they're sentenced. Like you always have the last word, which to speak and say anything, and the church did not give that opportunity, of course, because also the Knights Templars were well revered. They really were respected in that. So it's kind of a shame that they didn't, because in truth and reality, they would be able to get information that was what was really going on and why. They didn't want that. Now, the Knights Templar has been around for a long time. It is believed, even from the St. Clair's, that it is believed it's back from the Knights of the Round Table, possibly. And then it just went from there after King Arthur and that. But I really haven't asked too many questions because too much can be said. So that's why I'm a little sporadic here on what I can say and can't say, because a lot of stuff is still secret in that era. Because actually, if you didn't know, Knights Templars are still around, uh, just in a different way, in a different form, not knights anymore. So it's pretty crazy in that. But I've seen a lot of proof that they were, not bullcrapping me around in that. And like I said, my family, the family of the St. Clairs never really ever would go that extent of lying and misleading stuff. There was a lot of stories I was told, uh, truthfully, that just blew my mind on a lot of things, like the Holy Grail. That there was a search for that. Um, as far as finding it, I never was told that information, or the Ark of the Covenant. or anything like that, like which would be cool if they could. Um, and they're telling me stories from way back from when what they were told. Now a lot of them are still involved in some of the stuff that's in the government. Um, so truthfully, they can't say too much uh, information, but there is going to be information that's going to be coming true. Eventually, they're going to have to admit in the wrong because there is the lookout for Knights Templar. A lot of stuff being found in that. Swords, armor, rings, money, pretty much anything. A lot of stuff being found. Uh, and it's interesting that these men really went through a lot. But here's the surprising thing: it wasn't just men in the Knights Templars. So that's the thing. We're being told one story and finding out another story. Now, a lot of the story is still that the Knights Templar were bad and evil and or treasonous and all that, which is not true. It isn't. And a lot of that's going to come out eventually, I believe, when certain things are found. Um, depending, That's if the Vatican doesn't get a hold of it first, then that's the problem. That's the problem. But the Knights Templars were really good. They were decent people. They were also trusted as a bank. So a lot of people trusted them as a bank. Um, and then they had their own little thing as well, like a bank, which was surprising from hearing from that. They all took an oath to God, which I really like that. Like a society that would come together even back then and make an oath straight to the Lord God is amazing. It just blows my mind. And that's why, like, I really sit back and I have to believe, the family members that have told me stories and that, where, why would they change and disappoint God, or why would they, anything? No. In reality, it was the church. And that, now I know I'm probably going to get some backlash on that. You can say what I want, but if you really look out in history and really do a lot of digging, you're going to find out truth. That I did find out. Because there's always, like they say, there's always two sides to every story. And for entertainment purposes, it's just remarkable. Remarkable. And these guys went from everywhere. They went and they would get more people to come in. Like, people would be willing to join the Knights Templar. Uh, and that's the greatest thing that I've ever heard is that and seen. The Knight Templar were huge. Like, I would say they were the biggest and had the most army, military, everything, ships and all that. And I would call great warriors. They were great, great warriors. Uh, and a lot of people, like I said, that a lot of people would join them in that. But like I said, it was not just men. There was women. And that's another thing. Like, we get told a lot of stories that knights were just men, noble men, and wealthy men. You know, it just baffles me, the stories that we get told that are just not true, and that um compared to what is true. Now, the reason I say this is because a lot of things have been found, such as Knights Templar swords and armor on women that they found and uncovered. Um, so that is the truth there, and my family has told me as well that there was a lot of women Knights Templars and that. So it's just insane on that level. You understand? Um, but I didn't get too much information yet because, like I said, everybody's been busy in that. But they're going to give me everything again. So I'm going to do a part two of this. And that's why also I'm bouncing around, because I did promise to talk about this. But like I said, it's been hectic. Um, and all my information hasn't been sent to me. So I'm waiting for all that, which because of this, I'm not really pressuring them to send me all that information right now. But I did promise, and that's why I wanted to bring it up. So I will be talking about in part 2 the backstory of how it came to be the Knights Templars, all the way up to the ending of supposed ending of Knights Templars. In reality, there's not. So um, we'll get to all that probably. I'm hoping this coming week. So I've always been fascinated with the Knights Templars. Um, and it just surprises me, and I feel bad for them because they did their best to focus really on God, and there's always bad out there that got to come after the good, because they're doing so good. But it was really because, like I said, the Knights Templars found out the truth, and what they were being used for did not like it and left. You know, in secret too, and in good reason, and in good reason. So really, I really appreciate if you really do a backstory before you believe too much of what's being put out there. And I see a lot of stuff that's put out there that these men were bad. They weren't. It's kind of like our military today. They were following orders, and a lot of people that find out the truth, what those orders were all about in reality, what happens. So really pay attention to that. And we're also gonna now get back into like the random and that. Like I said, there will be a part 2 about the Knights Templars and that, and we're gonna get really deep into that because that's one thing I'm really into. Um, and I was on here talking before that, like I said, like a lot of stuff we're being told was folklore, mythology, and that. It's really not. Maybe some things might be, but in reality, a lot of stuff is popping up that shows otherwise. And then they changed their story, from Robin Hood was a myth, folklore, and King Arthur was supposedly folklore, but and Excalibur, folklore, Merlin. Now, Merlin, I truly believe, was a little added story from nowadays. I don't believe back then he was a wizard. Um, then again, like I said, in Egypt they had some of their people that just trickery, with magic and that, their fake stuff, practical illusions and stuff like that that would be created to make it seem real, and people believed it because back then a lot of people were naive and that. Is that possible with Merlin? Yes, that's possible. Merlin pulled that off for so long. But really, I think what he would be called is technically a doctor, a witch doctor. That's what I believe, truthfully, what Merlin was called back then. In reality, we're speaking about an ancient people that probably wouldn't know the term wizard and everything. Um, but I also think Merlin helped King Arthur really be able to become a good man and be able to rule right and correctly, which he did. Which he did. A lot of people loved him, as well as Robin Hood. Robin Hood was, he got tired of the king and got tired of the taxation and did something to help the people. And then some people just followed him. Little John and all them, really got behind Robin Hood, and we were told for a long time that was folklore, just a story that the people told about and talked about, and then we find out here it was true. So, like, I just don't understand how you're gonna say something until all of a sudden now you can't say that no more. Now you got to go back to, okay, we got to tell the truth, but we got to do it the way that we thought thought. No, you knew. You just didn't want to tell the whole thing. You just thought it would be good to make something up and turn it into like a story and that because you didn't want the people to know the truth, just like everything else. Especially with UFOs and UAPs, it just baffles me for the longest time. They said that everybody was conspiracy theorists, and boom, next you know, they're disclosing all these files. Blows your mind, right? And there's more to come. There is. I do have that information. There's a lot more to come, especially by 2029. See, I'm drunk saying about 2030 for the ocean mapping, which is also going to disclose more as well. Now, I did hear stories. I did get brought up by Ryan Poole or Deadpool that about Godzilla. I don't know the stories on that, brother. If you come on here and watch this, I do not. I've never heard anything like that. A lot of things are just made up because, it becomes big and all that. And then, they're trying to get their little fame in that. Could it possibly be real, something almost like that because of all those nuclear testings and that? Yeah, anything's possible. Nuclear weapons have radioactivity. So is it possible that something, got contaminated and changed? Or from eggs that somehow just got contaminated but were still good enough to hatch? And they were, contaminated and turned and all that? Yeah, it's very possible. Very possible. I really don't focus on that because I'm not 100% sure. And I don't hear too much of that because that one is, you know, a deal breaker for in talks, especially on how classified that stuff is. But is it possible? Yeah, anything is possible. So that's the thing we forget in this world, that anything is possible, even within ourselves. Within ourselves, we keep forgetting that anything is possible and that we can make things happen if we focus on it. It's a sad truth and sad reality that our civilization doesn't have even more faith in ourselves, let alone the Lord God, because a lot of things are proven, and it's just sad that a lot of people don't focus on it. But it's just reality nowadays. A lot of things have changed. I mean, mainly, especially that people get along. Even just to say hi or good morning or good afternoon, good evening. A lot of people don't do that no more. Especially if you see somebody that needs help. A lot of people nowadays don't offer help, which is sad. It is very, very, very sad. You would almost think that something would, click and be like, oh yeah, let's help out in that in our world. Now there is people out there that I've heard of that are helping out, but it's not as much as what you would think nowadays would be happening more. Especially with everything that's going on and the prices going up. I mean, look at these celebrities and these wealthy, rich people. They ain't offering to help, which they could easily do, and they don't. So really, why are you, revering and being a fan of somebody that ain't really helping the people, especially people that really need the help? So it's just one thing after another, and I just want you guys to focus on that. Like, is everything the way it should be today? No, I don't believe it is. I think we need to get out there more and help people with anything. I mean, there's always somebody that needs help in some way or shape or form. I mean, look at me. I posted a GoFundMe, and I got tons and tons. I mean, I could show you. I got tons of views and tons of shares, but no one willing to actually donate to help. And I only got one person that's willing to help me, and you know what? I appreciate him. He's a good dude. So hopefully we can go through with that. But like I said, it's sad that others just don't be there and helping. So give me a moment. All right, I apologize for that. I'll tell you what. Excuse me. But yeah, so it's just one of them things that we need to help out each other. We really do. No matter what. It's hard to see, but we all need to come together as one, unite and be together, especially for against this government that's just constantly raising prices, but they ain't doing nothing about for income for those people that or the prices are getting raised, especially Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is the last for everything. Let me tell you something. I really got to shout out to these politicians here in PA. I hope they do see this. If you know a politician, you know that you could get this out to them, please do. Please do, because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Stop being last. And then you act like you got to fight to get things to change. No, you don't. You don't. It needs to happen. It needs to happen. Minimum wage needs to jump up for those that are, suffering and going through things. Um, or the cost of living needs to come back down. Cost of living, groceries, and all that needs to come down. Pick and choose. If you ain't agreeing on a minimum wage to jump up high, then you need to bring all the cost of everything, groceries, food, rent, mortgage, all that needs to come down then, if that's what you're not going to do, because it's unfair. And truthfully, the people are just going to get ticked off. And then you're going to have that kind of problem. That's honesty. That's honesty. You understand? So in reality, you need to really shape up, man, because this it's not working out. And it ain't gonna work out your favor either, because you guys bullcrap into promising all this stuff, but yet when you get elected, then nothing happens. It's like, and then you wonder why you're not reelected, or to continue to be in there, or get thrown out. Honestly, but hey, that's your mistake, and if you don't want to change it, then expect that, and don't be surprised. Um, Because you ain't really doing much except sitting in office and just sitting there behind a desk collecting on taxpayers' money, which ain't right. Because obviously these roads ain't getting fixed. These, you know, places ain't getting fixed. These sidewalks ain't getting fixed. But you're all worried about disclosure of this, that, and the third and all that. But now you're also worried about pocketing money. In truth. But yeah, I'm hoping everybody has a great Father's Day. So I'm sorry, I'll just kind of have a lot of thoughts in that on certain things. And it's a shame. It really is. Also, there's one more thing I do gotta say that's off topic, and I gotta say it. Mannheim Auto Repair Shop over there, going towards Lebanon. Do not go to them. Don't go to them because took a car there, and somehow it was almost $3,000 to fix it, and then won't work out a payment. Won't do a payment plan. Don't do contract to do payment plan. And I even had a family member that even offered it, not the whole amount, like probably like $1,500-1,600 to pay off, whatever. He might have to take a little loss, but no, he doesn't even want to do that. Apparently, I don't know yet, because it was like he didn't get a hold of. They left a message and he never got back to him. I called, never got back to me. Then I texted him, and all of a sudden he answered, "Oh, give me their number," blah blah blah. And I haven't heard back at all that he called. So obviously, a lot of so yeah, I wouldn't trust that and wouldn't go for that. You know what I mean? So it's a shame. It really is. Blows my mind. Because a lot of places would agree to something like that, and just to get their money. And this guy's like making excuses up because he just wants the whole thing. Well, you're a greedy son of a gun, and he's trying to act like, oh, well, I'm trying to help you because of this, that, and the third, yada, yada, yada. And no, you're not. No, you're not. So, you're full of it. Because if he was, he would agree to something. So that's why I'm saying don't go to him. And he's overpriced. Way overpriced, because I looked into it, and it should never costed that much to do a water pump and a AC compressor. So no way. So maybe if you were doing something with the transmission, but not there. No. There's no way. So insane. But yeah. But that's why I'm thankful for, good friend, that's willing to help. And I really gotta appreciate that, and I do. It's just hard to find people like that, like him, and it's a shame. It really is. Because I had a lot of them and thought they were friends, and no, not at all. So it's a shame. It is a real big shame, because there should be more people out there like him that are willing to, help in that. So yeah, it's just insane, and sad. So yeah, things have just definitely changed. 100% changed out there now. So, but what can you expect nowadays? Things are changing. Things are definitely not what they used to
Bluetooth
be.
disconnected.
So it's definitely crazy. Definitely. But hopefully y'all are having a great, great Father's Day. So unfortunately this year just gonna be alright. But not fantastic. Not fantastic like we used to. It's just one of those unfortunate things. Which I was hoping would have changed, but yeah. But yeah, I appreciate all of y'all. Like, I know you guys couldn't jump into my stream because you're all out doing your Father's Day stuff, but hey, I know you guys will eventually go in here and looking at, and that's good enough for me. So it's definitely a good thing here, and that. So yeah. So it's definitely greatly appreciated, everybody. It really is. I appreciate all of y'all. Appreciate all of my subscribers. It's growing great. 11 subscribers. It's definitely uh, a mind blowing thing that's going on. Um, and the views are really blowing up too. 855 views. So hopefully it keeps going as good as it is and keeps going out there and reaching out to you because I really want you guys the truth. If you can get a chance, go back. I've uploaded a whole bunch of videos before. Please go over those all the way up. And there's tons of streams I've been doing. I really get into those as well. And if you can help people, help them. I mean, it don't have to be much. $10, $15, $20, something that could help somebody out. That's what matters. That's what's being a true community, uniting and being, together. Uh, and that's what the world should be. It really is. It's what it should be. And we need to be more like that. We need to be more appreciative that we should be a whole, basically, family and a whole system that's connected together and loving and caring. That's what really we're put on this earth for. To prove that, to be one, being together and uniting and being, loving family, united family. No matter anything, um, and the world probably would be better. It would. It might not be great, but it would be better. I mean, if you really think about it and look into it, uh, hopefully you would see that. You know, I know sometimes it's frustrating, and I know life is frustrating, but we got to get past that and focus on that we need to be a family, all of us. We're all brothers and sisters. It don't matter anything else. That you got to put that aside, and all that bullcrap away and really pay attention that we're all here. We all eat the same. We all breathe the same. We all whatever the same. Okay, so understand that. So it's just how it needs to be. Because if not, things are just going to continue to down spiral and get worse. That's reality. It's going to get more difficult because you're not opening your eyes and you're not seeing what really needs to be happening and what needs to really go on. So I'm just keeping it real. Really am. Really am, guys. Because that's me. I just like to, keep it real and put it out there. Don't matter what country, color, race, nothing. That don't matter. We are brothers and sisters. End of story. End of story. We celebrate and we're joyful to the same. Everything we do is the same. So I just say that we need to come together and put our differences aside and just, become one and unite. I'm gonna keep saying it. I know you probably like, oh, you keep repeating yourself. You get because it's the truth. Because it's the truth. And the story. But yeah, so I appreciate y'all coming in. Almost made it to an hour, so that's good enough for me. I mean, like I said, I just wanted to come on here and speak a little bit because I really didn't get to Friday night and Saturday, not at all. But I figured today do a video, and that'd be it. So I appreciate y'all. Have a great night and day, and a great and wonderful Father's Day. God bless.